everyone, I welcome you all to this video, and in this video we will discuss about the unique constraint. In the last video we have discussed about not null constraint. So I will simply click here on new query and it will open a new query window for us, and we will be discussing about unique constraint in this video. And we are going to use the same database, that is constraints database. So I will comment this line, and unique constraint basically ensures that a column consists of unique values. So we can write it ensures that column consists of unique values. All right. So further, there can be two cases. So in the very first case, the table might already exist. So when the table already exists, and in the second case, we have to create the table. So we need to create the table. All right, so there can be two cases, and let's discuss about case number 2 first. So in order to discuss about this case, we will have to create a new table. So we can write create table and then the name of the table. So let's name the new table as test unique, bracket open, bracket close. And let's say this time we want students data to be there in this table. And we will say, let's say the first column is SID column. And this can have data type integer, and the values which are to be inserted in this column have to be unique. Comma, let's create one more column by the name age, and let's say the age column can have data type tiny int. It is having data type tiny int, and it can consist of those values which are not null. Now let's say there is one more column that is named first name column. This is having data type varchar 256, and this is having both the constraints applied on it. So not null constraint is also applied on it, and unique constraint is also applied on it. So we can write not null unique, comma, press enter, and let's say there is one more column that is last name column. It is also having data type varchar 256. The character length, maximum character length can be 256, and it is not having any constraint defined on it. If I will now run this simple select statement, simple create table statement written from line 13 to 18, so commands completed successfully and new table was created. If I will now run a simple select statement to see the table that we have created, so we can simply write select star from test underscore uni. So select this statement and execute it. So you can see that this is the table that we have created, and as of now, no record exists in this table. So now let's try to insert certain records into this table. So let's write insert into test uni values, bracket open, bracket close. So let's say the SID is 1, then comma, let's say the age is 22, comma, the first name is, let's say, Mayank, and let's say the last name is Mehra. Fine. If I will execute the insert statement written in line 22, you can see we were able to insert this record successfully. And if I'll now run the simple select statement written in line number 20, that is select star from test unique, so you can see this is the data that we have because we inserted this record. Now let's try to insert one more record into this table, and we will write insert into test uni values. Let's say this time again we are having the value for SID as 1, the age is 24, name of the student is Rohit, and the surname or the last name is Singh. If I will now try to execute the insert statement written in line 24, this is going to throw an error. So it states that violation of the unique constraint, and this is the unique constraint and it was violated, and the duplicate value, the duplicate key value is 1. So you are basically trying to insert this 1 again into a column named SID on which unique constraint is already defined. So since you can have only unique values in this column, that's why this insert failed, right? So you have to keep this in mind while you are inserting the records into a table, right? That was the case. Now, let's take another example. Let's say I want to insert this record into the table where we'll write insert into test uni, insert into test uni values. And these are the values that we want to insert. So in the SID column, I am interested in inserting a null value, inserting the null value. So we'll write null, comma, let's say the age is 34. Let's say the name is, again, might be, we can take any name. So Akhilesh. And then the last name to be Jen. So if we will now try to execute the statement written in line 26, so we were able to execute this record. We were able to insert the null value into the SID column. If I will now execute this simple select statement written in line 20, so you can see that we were able to insert this null value into SID column. Why? Because on SID column, only unique constraint is defined. Not null is not defined. So you can insert null values. But now let's say we want to try inserting the null value again into this table. So if I will try to execute the statement written in line number 26 again, or might be we can change the record. Might be we can write insert into test uni values. Let's say we are again trying to insert null value into SID column. Let's say the age is 54. Let's say the name is maybe, we can give any name, maybe Nitin, and then maybe Nitin Singh. And if I'll execute this statement, if I'll try to execute the statement written in line 28, so it throws an error. And again, it says violation of unique key constraint, right? And the duplicate value is null because we are trying to insert null again into SID column. So once we were able to insert, because not null constraint was not defined on this SID column, sorry. But since unique constraint is defined on it, so you cannot insert the null value again. That's the thing that you should keep in mind. Now, it was all about the table that we had to create. Now, let's discuss about modifying the unique constraint for a given column or applying the unique constraint on a given column that already exists and on which previously the unique constraint has not been defined. So Control R, and let's say, first of all, let's truncate this table because we have inserted these records. So in that case, there might be some problem with that. So I will write truncate table, and the name of the table is test uni. So although the records will be deleted, but the structure of this table will remain. So let's execute it. Commands completed successfully. If you will now run the simple select statement on test unique table, there are no records because we have truncated the table. Control R. Now you can see that here when we created this table, on the last name column, this unique constraint was not defined. Now we want to add this unique constraint into this column. First of all, previously when we were discussing about inserting certain records, so we inserted this record written in line 24 and line 28. So for both the records, you saw that the last name was equal to Singh. And we were able to, basically, if we will try to insert these records now as well, we will be able to insert these records. So last name column can contain values where duplicate values exist. So if I'll try to show it to you, so I'll execute this insert statement again written in line 28. And let's try to execute statement written in 24 again. So we were able to execute these two statements because unique constraint is not defined on last name column. If I'll now run this simple select statement to show you the data, so you can see that as of now, last name column is consisting of those values which are duplicates. Duplicates value it now consists of. But now we will try to define this unique constraint on last name column, and then we will see that whether we are able to execute these statements or not, written in line 24 and 28 both. So first of all, I will truncate the table again. So truncate table test unique. And let's go to case number 1. And here, in order to define the unique constraint on a column on which unique column doesn't exist and the table has already been created, we can write alter table and then the name of the table. So the name of the table is test unique. And then you can write add unique. Inside the brackets, you can write the name of the column, that is last name. If we will now execute this alter statement, alter command, and if we'll execute it, so commands completed successfully. Now this unique constraint was applied on last name column. Now let's try to execute these two statements and let's see what happens. If I will execute this statement, I'm highlighting it with star, written in line 25. If I'll execute this, line 25, if I'll execute this, so I will be able to do so. But now if I will try to execute the statement written in line 29, it is written here. If I'll try to execute this statement now, so it throws an error. It states that we cannot insert duplicate key in this object ID and the duplicate value is Singh. So since we are trying to insert the last name which is Singh and we have already inserted it in the previous record, that's why this violation occurred, because the unique constraint was added for column last name while previously it was not there. So in that way, you can add a unique constraint on a column in a given table while creating the table, and if the table already exists, then you can refer to this statement, and this way you can define the constraint. So I hope this this session was helpful. We'll meet in the next session and we'll discuss about other constraints in the upcoming sessions. Till then, thank you. Bye-bye.